Okay. It's one that's flying back tonight, today. Yeah, it feels good in here though, man. Are there any pop guys in here? Oh, three, 1, 2, 3. Pop guys! Yeah, I love that. I love that. Boy, yeah, we gotta rehearse you. You know how that is. You've been missing your practices. Busy trying to get married over here, which is a beautiful thing. Man, give him a hand. Give him a hand. Women got a big, pretty, shiny truck and the whole script, right? You can't tell me the good life don't belong to you. See, look at that look on his face. That girl got a smile on his face too. I love it. We got some guests. We got some guests here, first timers. So we're glad about that, and I'm glad. For me, I'm just going to confess that I'm glad that I have this group to come to on Tuesday nights because of what I get out of the group. I actually believe I get more than you do, and it helps me keep my own life together. So I'm so grateful for you and for the leadership that pop guys are demonstrating and showing in the larger community. And I'm gonna give you a quick example just of last weekend. Of last Tuesday, DeAndre Robinson was sitting right here, and Volley said he had some beds had come into his job, brand new beds in the box. He handles some furniture sometimes, and he asked if anybody in the group need a bed, brand new bed. DeAndre said, "Man, I need a bed." Duval and Doug got them beds, brand new in the box. Give them a hand for that. I mean, just on the strength of what the guy said, what DeAndre said. I called DeAndre and said, "Man, we got the bed, man. Text me the address." I ain't heard from that boy. No, I'm just saying, it's all right. But no matter what, because see, things be happening. The things be happening. Hey, Yolanda, come on. Who's somebody sitting right here?
Yeah, somebody's checking. Yeah.
Oh,
got it.
Hey, now.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Deck slide in. You got on wheels, son. Slide in here, man. I'm trying to be a outlier. And when you, Tim, so let me just finish that. Sure. So we do have that bed, and we're going to give DeAndre a opportunity to claim his brand new bed in the box. Right. And then if he don't want it, then it'll just be available to somebody else who does and who can use it. There was a twin size bed. I think we're going to put that in one of the pop houses because one bed in the pop house or two beds have twin size, and so we can keep.
We got a full size and a twin size.
Full size and a twin size. We got to put Big Baby in the full size. But on Sunday past, Tierra Caldwell, our employment navigator, who y'all gonna meet, Tierra preached at his church over at, I think it's called New Creations Church in South Minneapolis, 48th and something. I'd never been there. But maybe there were 16 or so of us who were at the church to support him and give those supporters of a pop guy a big hand. All right. So wait a minute. Here's Tierra. Now I met Tierra in Faribault in prison, and here he is from the big house to the church house.
That's right. Hallelujah.
I don't hear. No. Wait. Y'all missed that whole thing. I said, here he is from the big house to the church house as the pastor. And it's amazing. It's an amazing thing. I was overwhelmed by it. I mean that because I had to say, but look at God. Right? And what's happening in this group. Look, even though we ain't been in these last couple of months, still what pop guys are doing is still ringing in all the prison. People saying, "Pop, I'm coming." We've been at it so long. We got so many guys, still it's like we still there. And so, on that note, I am meeting with the commissioner to just kind of discuss a few things. That would be just one of the things. If we are served at the will, and this is new commissioner who want to do things his way, it might not be what we was doing. And we did our best for 15 years. I ain't mad. You get it? And so, every class could always be the last class because, that's the penitentiary. They, how they do what they do.
Right.
But at the same time, that's why we had to put it in so hard. We couldn't waste no time. Sheldon,
Right.
why was you absent last week? Don't answer. I just want you to think about it. I just want you to know I realized you wasn't here. Well, oh, you can't help it. But I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to give you opportunity. We do have a form of democracy here. It's a form, And I just tell you that Dexter, here go T right here. Give T a hand, man. The pastor. Get that stuff to Rhea. Hey, the pick of the pastor from the big house to the church house.
That's right.
And the pastor, let me tell you what the pastor said. He said, "Hey, I don't want y'all to get confused up here because I ain't no punk." We all laughed about that real hard, because brother, for that was so edifying for me. I really could hardly stand it. I felt like I was going to run through the people's church. I've never been there before. I don't want to, clown it out. He might have caught the Holy Ghost and, shut the place down. Say, who is that guy? I'm like, hey, his mama was there.
That's right.
And I'm just going to briefly tell you because the story is so valuable to me. His mother called my mother. They live across the street from each other. My mom gone now. This had to be in, I don't know, 7 years ago. And his mom told my mom, "Is Shane still going into prison? Will you get Shane to get my boy and see if he can help him?" This is the pastor. And my mom called me. This is how my mom was. She said, "Shane, do you know that boy I showed you over there that live across the street?" She said, "He's in prison, Shane. Now get up. I want you to find him and do what you can do to help him, Shane." Hang up the phone, man. You know how my mom was. And so I'm like, I'm thinking, I never met this Negro. I don't know nothing about him. And so it just so happened, this is nothing but G-force. He's at Faribault, which at that time was my home prison. And so I could get him in like the next class he was in. And we've been rolling ever since. No, y'all ain't clapping loud enough for that. I said we've been rolling ever since. Yeah, and I mean he's added a lot of critical support to what we've been to do here for several years, and he's a employment navigator, but more than that, right? Because he's got pop all up in his bones, and I want to communicate that, but it's impossible for me to totally communicate it. You either have it or you don't.
That's right.
And he got it.
Yeah.
And that's humbling to me. So James Jeffries, who was asking me earlier about a job, if you really want to work, that's James Jeffries right there. Give him a hand. Yeah, with your dreads. He's back for another shot. Say, I'm not going to miss my shot.
I'm not going to miss my shot.
That's you, James Jeffries. You got a shot now. Don't miss it. You got to talk with Tia now if you want to look for. I can't. I'm out of that job. But we glad to see you. And then look, here go Tony over here, man. Tony is one of our lifer sons. We proud of him. He was free before he got out. But I want him to take a minute to introduce himself. Go ahead.
Hello, my name's Tony Borchard. I did almost 30 years. I went in, I was 18 years old, turned 19 a month later. So I've been out in 5 weeks.
Wow.
Been 5 weeks.
Give him some love.
Made it out. Things were going great like I knew they would. So, I was able to get my driver's license right away.
Right.
Which is a miracle because it takes like 4 months. I was able to catch a cancellation.
Yeah.
And then I got hired on my 12th day out.
Who you with?
Tradesman International. They're like a union for non-union tradesmen, so electrician. But yeah, they don't like to be called a temp, But what I liked about them is one, they don't care about a family. Neither does the union. But I knew they paid $40 an hour, and I could start the next day.
Wow. Yeah.
And they keep me within the metro area.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of work.
Come on, well, that's it. Right. That was what she was praying for, right?
Yeah.
Now, but here's what I want to know about your daughter.
Yeah, I was going to get to that.
Okay, come on, now. I'm sorry.
So, yeah. So yesterday I got my first. Well, I had the planners, and anytime I go on a planner, me and her, anytime we get together, we're out shopping and whatnot. I wanted to see, because a lot of lifers just come here and talk about how they struggle when they go to the store, and I want her to see that Dad can cover some ground.
Yeah.
And I got a list, and we're getting all this stuff in 4 hours. But yeah, so I got my first pass, and I went to her house Sunday.
Wow.
And it was lovely. She put me to work, but it was but I got the grandson too. I got a 3-year-old grandson.
Wow.
And he's supposed to be with his dad. She wanted me to be with him on his turf.
Yeah.
And that was a good little thing. He's warming up because I'm ultimately gonna parole there in about 5 months.
To your daughter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She's in Brooklyn Park, so it was. But then we had the dad did come and get the son later, and it was just me and her, man. I did do some change a little hood above the range and stuff. but then we just on the couch, man, watching Netflix.
Wow.
But
listen to this, Will. Do you hear him?
Man, I told her, I said, this is one of the best days of my life.
Yeah.
Because she was only 9 months old. Because she was only 9 months old, and my mom raised her and brought her to me all the time, so we're very close. Yeah, man, she was up under me, man, like my girlfriend or something, And we just going.
That's beautiful,
Yeah,
man.
And, it was a lovely thing, man. I apologize to her, man. But I want to do it in person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Good, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good to see you, Tony.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Hey, Donald. Yeah. Hey, what's happening? Thank you for making it. Yeah, good to see you. Love you. You see, we got Tony and brother Tony in here. Yeah.
You made it.
Yeah.
You made it. Good to see you out of that place.
That's true. It is beautiful, man. It is beautiful. And I will just say to you, you got me?
Yes.
No, okay, hold on. I'll get you in. I'm gonna get you in. So, but hey, Tone, I like the way you was walking when you was there. You were free already, and some people don't understand that philosophy because You don't get free because someone else opened up the door. You get free because you changed your mind about who you are. Yeah. See, and to the extent that you're able to change your mind about who you are, Herman, am I telling it right?
Yeah, you talking right.
Well, to the extent that you're able to change your mind about who you are, it takes about 6 to 8 months, and all of a sudden, the police will start policing you different than they was before. Soon as they see you done hit that spot, it's like, he don't, let him go on. Right? And then riffraff dominates all of the policing attention. And then you don't have to be riffraff, but you just have to be hanging with them because you haven't grown up enough to cut yourself loose from riffraff. And then when they come, say, everybody lay down, you and riffraff got to go down. I don't hear nobody in here.
That's right.
Y'all too quiet in here. And so Tony, we're gonna even come back to you because, man, but I you caught me, Paul. I don't know if Paul brought you how you got to thank you so much for the life you've been living and for bringing Tony. But when guys come home, you always get ice cream and cake.
I didn't get cake.
Yeah, because then the next week you was gone, you didn't come. So we brought a cake and we ate up your cake, and it was good. It was good. Hey, didn't you get a piece of Tony's cake? Paul's cake? It was good too. So, but now Tony, Tony, we gonna get him some ice cream and cake. So please try to bring him back next week. If you don't come, we gonna eat up your cake.
Well, I'll say this though.
One second. Hold on. Because we have some guests here, and I just want this look like they got to leave. I just want to let them introduce themselves and say a little something. Go ahead.
Well, I am so sorry because this is so awesome. To God be all the glory, first of all. My name is Delshia Perry, and thank you again. And I'm going to make this as brief as possible. This is my brother, Tran Cruz, who's with Black Lives Matter.
Green Park, Minnesota.
Absolutely, amen. My son, real briefly, Brother Philip invited us to come tonight. And I wasn't actually going to come because my nephew's suffering from stomach cancer. He's actually in the Methodist Hospital right now as we speak. But I have been out fighting for justice for my son, my only child, who died in the hands of the DOC in Beltrami County Jail last year, September 2nd. He was just 27 years old. He went in to pay his debt to society. It wasn't, he had possession of a firearm. Okay. Well, he was in, and 3 days later he got sick, and the story kind of goes on where they neglected him physically. I mean, and to some degree physically, but mainly in a medical. He got sick, and they didn't care. So they neglected to listen to him. They thought he was trying to escape. And they didn't believe him. He called me crying, Mom, get an attorney and have him look at the video cameras. They're mistreating me in here. So this story's been going on for a year, and I'm fighting like hell to get justice for my son. And anybody and everybody that will listen to me, I'm willing to go and share my story.
You got to cut that off, man.
I'm trying.
Because what happened to him, we cannot allow for it to happen to anyone else. I personally have never been in jail. That doesn't make me any better than anybody because I haven't been, but I'm saying that from the perspective of a mother who's gone to many jails and seen my son because he's been in and out of jail. He never went to prison, but this time he was actually going to go to prison because he was ineligible to have a firearm, as you all probably know. And but he never even got to go to court to fight his case. And in the skinny of it, Raj, I'm sure you all probably have heard of Raj or know of Raj. He actually, I ran into a young man while we were going into the Department of Corrections last night. I just kind of wanted to feel it out so that we could do the rally the next day. And I came up against, I met a guy by the name of Tobias. And you know how God is so good. He just orchestrates. It's a setup. I'm just telling you, it's a setup by God. But this guy's name is Tobias, and I was like, wow, that's a really interesting name. What does that mean? He said, God is good. I said, yeah, God is good because he allowed me to meet you. And then you reintroduced me because I knew Raj from years ago when I worked at a company where we worked with felons to get them back into the work, work field and so on and so forth and get them educated in that. But at any rate, I got reintroduced to Raj. And then, of course, Raj told Brother Philip to come because he couldn't make it. and we did a rally. Fox 9 News is going to show the story again tonight, and we've got dignitaries now in Georgia because I have a lot of family in Georgia. The mayor is going to be getting in contact with me, and of course the commissioner called me today.
Wow.
Paul Snell, and I said I can't talk with you until I'm with my attorney, because I don't want to back chase and try to, go back to, I'm just going to tell the truth because the truth will set you free. And on a positive, a more positive note, and then I will leave. My son was saved and set free before he died because I told my son, I said, there's going to come a time where you're going to have to learn how to call on the Lord Jesus, because he's the only one that can save you. Mama can't save you. Your brother, sister, your aunt, your uncle, nobody can save you but the Lord. And I said, and there's going to come a time that you're going to have to learn how to call on him. And that was this time. I didn't know it was going to be that time. But I know that is why the Lord took my son, because he asked him to go home, because I know that the Lord would not have allowed that to happen, because I have been out as an evangelist, out preaching the gospel for years. I know that God would not have allowed my seed to suffer if it wasn't for a greater cause. And I'll leave it on that.
Well, did you sign in right there so
I
we
surely
have your
did.
information?
Yes, and
so
we will be out there on the 24th with a lot of other people supporting what you all are doing. And then with Black Lives Matter, we'll have people that will come out, and Fox 9 News will be there, and as well as Unicorn Riot, who's another media outlet, and they do a very good job of covering stories.
So, brother,
like this.
say a couple words real quick.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Say your name, man.
I'm Trent Cruz. I'm the chair of the Green Party of Minnesota, and in some of the next upcoming legislative sessions, we'll be working on changing conditions for inmates inside the prisons and inside the jails, like especially around. So there's a lot of talk in the presidential elections about Medicare for all, and we think that Medicare for all should apply to inmates. There shouldn't be payments for inmates. If somebody's in a medical segue, they should be checked every 15 minutes, and that should include checking the pulse, checking the blood pressure, and checking things like that. If that would have happened in Beltrami, her son would still be alive today. Her son's the third person to die in Beltrami County Jail in the last 3 years. There was a lady named Stephanie Bunker. She was found hung in a cell in Beltrami County Jail. Tony May died and these are all medical issues that could be avoided if they're doing the proper, doing checks on people every 15 minutes. They got urinals in the women's bathroom. They keep failing inspections, so because people make mistakes, if they go in to serve their time, they shouldn't end up as a death sentence.
Yeah, right.
It's
right.
It's called correctional facilities, not death chambers. So,
right. Internment camps. Well, and so you know what though, don't it feel good that we got a little spot here where we can talk about, we can reason together over a few things, and so this mother, I just feel something in that grief that just, gee, we just gonna offer a little prayer for them as they go.
Thank you.
Father, we just give you praise and honor, for you are God all by yourself. And Lord, these are some troubling times. But even still, there is always a light. And it's the light that is lit in the hearts and souls of the people who are in this room. And there are lights around those who hear a voice and a calling larger than man.
Hallelujah.
There's a light and we're reaching for it. There's a light at the end of the tunnel and we're searching for it.
Yes.
There's a light that each one of us need. There's a light that will reconnect us with our children and our families. There's a light, but you got to hold on to that light. And so even on tonight, we're praying that this mother in her grief will still know you well enough to reach for the light. And we pray the blood over the soul of her son and the steps that she is taking in Jesus' name.
Jesus.
Amen. Give us some love. Give us some love. Give us some love. Amen. Amen. Woo. Woo. My goodness.
And you guys can all see the harrowing footage. The video surveillance camera released them neglecting and abusing my son in jail. Yes, it's very hard. It's very hard to see. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I need you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Lord.
Side up
Thank
one
you,
ocean.
Lord. Only you guys. Put yourself in my hands.
Open it up. Just open them up and set them up. Hey, y'all. Some of this stuff you can't plan it. It just happens. You know what I mean? And here's what we want to do. And what we were saying before. Thank you, sister. Before our sister came.
You come in and pop.
Oh,
This
yeah.
ain't for dudes.
Yes.
I want you to know that about you can come in when you want to.
Yes, sir.
Just call on us.
Thank you so
We
much.
here.
So
We at, so
give her another hand as she's moving out of here. Yeah, I don't want to skip over nothing because Dexter right here, Dexter Harper.
Yeah.
Come in here, man. Dexter Harper. You all know that Dexter lost his son.
Yes.
And then here when she was talking about losing her son, here's Dexter right here lost his son. This was a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. And then I love that the pop guys were at the and women were up there too to support Dexter and his family as they laid Dexter's son to rest. 34 years old. 32. Yeah. Hey, sir. So Dex, sit down, son. You're trying to accommodate everybody.
All right,
I'm just
yeah.
going to accommodate you for one second. And so, is there anything you want to say, or just anything that you just feel like you got on your heart?
But I want to thank everybody for contributing for the cause and everything. People that could show up and support with the money and everything. I love you guys. I was so at peace, and my son was so well set. And then Pop was there, and the guys that could make it, and the Pop queens that could make it. It was amazing. I was like a track star, trying to keep everybody calm, back and forth. And it's just amazing. I held up, for my family. I, it was just amazing just to see him. Now he's back at home now. He was cremated and nice urn and everything. It's just I'm just like God is so good because he just if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here. And the strength of this group that just keeps me going. It's just amazing because I slipped last year. I went to a death with my wife last year. I took that hard and I took a slip. And I woke up from that slip. I can say I stayed in the water. If you stay in the water like this, I was able to pick myself back up.
Come on, give him some love right there. And me and Tim sat together at your son's homegoing, and it was an honor for me to sit with Tim. And Tim made it his business to come and support you. And man, that touched my heart, Tim. Because the lie is that we don't have feelings and we're uncaring and we just criminals and and I mean each one of us have done something like everybody else have done something that we are not proud of. But we are somebody too, and we have feelings and thinks and thoughts, emotions, yearnings, desires. And so I just appreciate, man. See, Pop Guy's been all over putting their hands in everything, trying to support one another. Not trying to, but doing it. And so on Sunday when we went to support Tierra, Moses had his son there. Um, and I thought that was so powerful. Because your son has been hanging around us long enough to catch on to what this is. And then for him to see Tierra as, our officiator of the day, starts to give him a different vision for who he could be.
And especially with the message that Tierra delivered.
Go ahead, keep going. Talk about it.
That was really on point.
What was the message?
The message was, the old you versus, the new you, coming out of that, and, actually, not being afraid to walk in the path that is righteous, you know what I mean? And how, walking in that old path, same old results, nothing going on. But what's powerful and what I really thought that my son grasped onto is when he said, I ain't no punk.
Yeah.
He said, when they said, you're scared, go to church. He said, yeah, I am scared. I'm scared to go to hell.
Right.
And so I really thought that was, a powerful piece for my son to be able to grasp and say, hey, it's not for people who are weak. It's for people who are strong. You know what I'm saying? So whether or not he gets that now, later on in life, that seed was already planted. So I was grateful to be there.
Wow. Franco, Brad was there, Duval and his wife were there, and Will was there, and my sister was there, and we supported that boy, and and it just dawned on me that we was like a good quarter of the whole church. You know what I mean? Here we were. We brought a church in the door with us. And you know who was there? This really got me. Because I'd be trying to get him to step to this. Dougie Fresh was there.
That's right.
And Dougie was looking good, too. Give him a hand. Go ahead. What you got, Doug?
I was very, by the way, I'm Dougie Fresh.
That's right.
I
love
was
it.
very honored to be there.
Did you hear what he said? Did you hear what he said? What his name? Say it again.
Dougie Fresh.
Oh, give him
But I was honored, and I'm so happy that I was in the person to see that. And I'm so proud of him for getting up there and doing it. You could tell he was a little nervous beforehand and stuff, and we always talking to him. But once he got going, he put a good message out, and I was just happy to be part of it.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Give Doug some love. So Herman back here now. Herman be having trouble with his bracelet. And Donald used to have trouble like that too. Where the bracelet would beep or go off, or you have to recharge it, or I don't know what. He broke up out of here in the last couple of weeks or something like this here. But I just want you to check in right now, Herman, intentionally to let us know how you doing, man.
Well, everything's been all right. Today I had a little time out, so I was able to charge it up.
You all charged up?
Oh, yeah.
Give him a hand. He's charged, boy.
Yeah, several weeks ago I went to a little job fair. That was kind of all right. So looking forward to some better prospects with employment.
Right.
So,
but you're sticking with what you got for right now.
Well, yeah, I have to do that.
Yeah. Hey, Chenny.
Better comes along.
And so you got this room in here. Go take this chair right here. Tim, slide back. Y'all go back to the wall now. You done already ate. Joe, move down. Move down. Yeah. Kimbro, slide back to the wall. And, keep talking, son. Go ahead. What else is happening?
Well, so far everything's been all right. And like I said, just looking forward to some better prospects so far as unemployment, And just in the group session because I always wanted to be here, but like I said, I didn't want to be here with the disturbance I was having with this bracelet. So I didn't know what I could do. I was charged it up as much as I possibly could, but
right.
It seems like every time I come at about 6 o'clock, here it comes. So
Donald used to beep like that, and so he ain't the only one. We used to it, to be honest with you. But I just want you to know that we're paying attention to you, and that the technical difficulties you are having is not what we're interested in. We're interested in you and getting to your next level. So relevant to your next job. Now make sure you staying in touch with Tierre. Come on back to TCT. Make sure you staying in touch with Tierre because Tierre got his hands on some stuff. Now, Tom McCullough was here last week. You remember that? Tom McCullough, who was the founder of Tech Dump. You remember he sat right here where Montez is sitting. And Tom has, had some construction jobs that he was bringing to the table, and now we turned him on to Tierre, and they had a talk today about for those who are able, you get it. They have some construction jobs that they have no experience, just a willingness to work, and then they mentor you into the laborer component and this and that. So check in, make sure you're staying in touch with him because that's all he does all day is work on employment. And so what else is going on, Herman? What else? What you doing? Do you get out? You've been going to the movies, or what you doing?
Well, last weekend I got a chance to go to Red Lobster, so enjoyed a good meal there.
Wow.
And chicken Alfredo.
Chicken Alfredo. Listen to him. Yeah.
So I get a chance to enjoy the weekend pass, so that's been good. Cooler weather now, so I mostly stay in, just watch a little sports and relax.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about them Vikings, man? They did something. That was a crazy comeback.
Who that?
Yeah. I know. I got you. With the Saints, they might have to put Teddy back in. Don't be mad.
I wouldn't be bad.
But I tell you this, I was a little disappointed at the Vikings. I looked at the TV. I was busy doing something else, and it was already 20-0 and like 0. I said, man, this is toast. And man, the next time I turned the TV on, I was on my phone. I didn't get a chance to get on the TV. I was on my phone, and I just said, let me just see what the final score was, because, how bad the whooping was, And man, it said 27-24. I was like, what? Them boys, I started to go to that game too, but I couldn't get situated. Come on in, son, because there's room here. Yolanda, I want you to slide down now. But one more thing, though, Herman. Do you remember the sister from South Africa?
Yes.
Yeah.
Elizabeth.
Yes.
Well, Elizabeth had called back. She wanted us to get to two things. One of the two things she wanted us to get to was her little nephew right here, who we've been trying to get him back in group. So I want you to introduce yourself to the group and let us know what's happening with you.
My name is Tyler Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Firstly, I want to thank God for the opportunity, and it's been only because of him that I'm here.
Yeah.
There's a saying that says in Afrikaans, it says, "Waarmee sal 'n jongeling sy pad suiwer hou?" It means, how will a young man keep his path safe? And that's only through the word of the Lord.
Wow. Hey, let's give him a little something for that. Oh, wait. Say it again.
Yes. It says,
Waarmee
sal 'n jong man
sy
pad
pad
suiwer hou?
suiwer hou.
It
Yeah.
means, how will a young man keep his path safe?
Woo. Somebody was trying to tell me and Donald that, but we couldn't understand that. Hey, that's beautiful. So, tell us, just remind us a little bit about what's going on with you and what's getting ready to happen and everything.
Okay, so I came here the first time in April. I came with my mother. We came to a church conference, and this opportunity, seeing how life is over here, was mind blowing to me because back in South Africa, it's an amazing place. It's beautiful. We've got a lot of freedom, but stuff being out there. Gang banging is a big thing, especially with young men. So I have a 3-year-old son.
Wow! Oh wow! Give him a hand. What is your son's name? Dre.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my main goal is to change my generation. Being out here, giving them a better life, coming to school, being myself. Because back at home, it's tough. It's really tough.
Right.
Gangsterism is every day.
Wow.
With my brothers being out there now, it's heartbreaking for me.
Yeah.
I want to get them over here.
Sure.
So I'm here to get better education and just go on the right path. That's me.
Come on, man. Give me some love. Yeah, I want to credit Wayne because I kind of gave Wayne the responsibility of running them down so that I could call Elizabeth and tell her that I've done what she asked us to do. And because, she's a precious sister, and somebody who I think very highly of, and she thinks so highly, like she's talking about pop guys all over the world. Let me just prove it to you. Some lady, I don't know who she is, she called me from California yesterday. Her name was Carolyn, and this is the other person that Elizabeth was trying to get us to get to besides you. Carolyn is the director of a domestic violence organization out in California in that Bay Area. And she heard about what we're doing in reentry, and she's stepping her foot into reentry. And Elizabeth has explained us as a humanitarian ideology of reentry. And sometimes it takes an objective, observant outlier to look in and call the thing what it is. I don't hear nobody in there. And so the Carolyn lady, by the time I got through talking, it was a cordial conversation. By the time I got through talking to her, she said, "Oh, we're gonna do a conference, and this is what I gotta have you do, and this is what I need." I'm like, "Oh man, I kind of been through that one. I'm not the big conference guy anymore like I used to be, but because I don't want to play around. I just don't want to get my conference numbers up. I did that. Well, I'm serious about real change. I mean, I'm serious. I'm dead serious about that. But you know what, man, has happened with us? Real change has taken place.
Yes.
It seemed like, Donald, it was like a dream, and then I went to sleep and woke up the next day, and the dream was here. The preacher was preaching, and the beds was delivered, and the money came in, and the support was here, and you know what? It's not just it's every one of us individually. Are growing and raising up in our own individual leadership qualities. That's the name of the class, personal development and leadership. We want to develop you as a person and then allow that development to expose for you and your community, whoever that is, your leadership ability. So now it looked like you traveling soon. Sunday he's going back to South Africa. I'm gonna tell you something now. Look, you hear what that boy said? What he's trying to do. Now, I just wanted him to leave here with a couple extra dollars. So just send money down this way. Reach in your pocket. I don't care what it is. If it's a dollar, $5, $10, $20, I don't care what it is. We want to send him pop guy. Say pop guy on three. 1, 2, 3. Pop guy. We're gonna send that young man out with a little bit of money. Y'all hear what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
See now, if the money has got to flow, because this is what we have to do for each other. So he know he's not by himself. He got some brothers here.
That's right.
That are invested in who he is. Go back to South Africa. Go back to Cape Town and tell them I was in a room, and the money was flowing. They was giving it to me so I could just have a little. I don't care if it's a sandwich or whatever it takes. And this and that. Y'all can't do a little better than that. Now come on now, reach one more time. Oh my God, and get that boy some money. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there it is. That's right. That's right. That's right. So look, y'all got somebody else. So somebody put a $2 bill in there. That's $2 more than you had. I'm gonna show you this. Reach and grab this money like this, and get that boy a handful of money. Just pass it down.
Still coming.
Come on, money coming. Come on, let's do it. Let's do it. Give him a handful of money.
I just want to say because I'm here to, I'm not allowed to really work over here because of my visa status and things. So I'm going home to get a student visa. I've been accepted at the college already. So this money is going towards my tuition.
Yeah.
600,000. Come back here.
He's gonna come back here. TL got something he want to holler about. Go ahead, son.
I'm off paper next Tuesday.
Oh, it's exciting.
How long you been in the system?
How long have I been in the system? On parole, you mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got your sentence and now parole, and you're finishing up this.
Yeah. I've been on paper since December 16th.
Yeah. That's beautiful. So you get your voting rights and traveling rights, and his fiance was here at his presentation. She was up on the front row recording every minute of it. And Miss Karen, and she got out of here today.
Yeah, this morning.
Give us a little head report on what's happening. Y'all come on in here. Come on in. Find a seat. Just slide down and slide down some more. We'll slide down some more. Just get a chair. Slide that chair over there. Slide it up in there. I see. Come on. You gotta come on in, honey. Come on. The chair, bring the chair on in. Yeah, come on in. Yeah. The chair. Slide over. No. I want your hand. Everybody's coming in. No, don't do that. That just confuses the issue. We're gonna make it. Yeah. Come on in. Hey, what's going on? Tyron is here. Come on. Yeah, come on in. If Tyron is here, come on. Yeah. What's going on, son? Wow, that's good. Give Tyron another hand. Wait a minute. Let him sit right there. So Tyron just got home, man. He ain't been out, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? A month. Hard month. Come on, slide in. Nika, come on and slide in. Okay. Yeah, I love it. So you be saying we need a bigger room. But I'm gonna just tell you though. See, I like for us to be jammed up on each other just like this. I like for us to be intimate like this so we can love on each other. Usually we don't want to pay each other no attention. But part of this is a part of what adds to our fellowship, that we know we can be in tight spaces and we can respect each other well enough to make it work. Yeah. So I tell you what, man. Here go Tyron. Man, give him a hand. He just got home not a month ago. Give us a little check.
It was great, man. I got a great, amazing support system. I was out in Carver County, but the housing fell through. So
That's
God
what you were paroled to Carver County?
Yeah, I was in Carver County. Agent Patty Huss. God worked in mysterious ways, like I said. So now I'm in Ramsey County, crossing homes. It wasn't what I would choose. You know what I'm saying? But it's what God chose for me. So, I walk that path, do what I can.
Right.
I was triggered.
Yeah.
Man, I was triggered, man.
Wow. Look at you.
I was in the sticks.
Yes.
I wasn't trying to come back down here, man. Only for a meeting.
Right.
I'm working with a friend of mine, construction. He teaches me carpentry.
Okay.
I just got off, man. I'm stuck in traffic.
Right. You driving and everything.
Yes, sir.
Oh man, come on, man. So would you see that chair right there, Isaac? Would you get that chair and bring it, slide it in here? Slide some more chairs in here. Look. So this is this is exciting that we got so many men who are coming home and finding their way here. He called me like about a couple weeks ago when he, just knew, and we exchanged the information, got it all situated, and so, and I love that. I just want to tell you this. I love that. I appreciate that you think enough of what we tried to do over the years that you would come and give this a try. And if you give it a try, you'll find out that there is no other place like this. We're the largest reentry group in the state of Minnesota, and we wasn't trying to be that. It's just like that now. You get it? And so for people who don't understand it, we started to open up to women about maybe a year ago now, or maybe it's longer than that. I don't know. But let me just tell you how that happened. First of all, the girlfriends, y'all's girlfriends, was calling me saying, so and so said he had a meet. Now I know he ain't had no meet. And I said, no. I said, no, ma'am. Yeah, we actually do have a meeting, and your husband was here. He signed it, So you need to know this now. The sign-in sheet is discoverable by POs, judges, and your woman. If she call up here and say, was Tony there? I say, yes, ma'am. Look, here he was right there. So what happened, is that people started seeing y'all coming, and your other half started saying, hey, let me see. And so we just had to end up kind of evolving into that. But we started, just all men, and that way for many years. You remember when we started up, we leased a space from Emerge for a while, and I think sometime we might have 5 or 6 guys. That was our top thing, but we kept meeting. 5 or 6 came to be 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 years, and we got our own building. Moved down, down here, this and that. So let me just say this, and now we looking at another building, not bigger than this, a leadership center. Where there's leadership in academics, leadership in entertainment, leadership in sports, leadership in parenting, leadership in relationships, interpersonal relationships. I hope I get time to talk a little bit about that tonight. But leadership is in a lot of different domains, right? And sometimes what we notice is that you could be a good, strong leader in how to get out of prison and stay out, but not so good about how to manage your relationship, right? And then when you're not able to manage the relationship, you might not notice, but the number one way for a pop guy to go back to jail or prison is a failed domestic relationship. Is this, and then a lot of times, some of the skills, and these are skills that you had to develop in prison, you have to get off them when you come home, because those same skills will shoot you in the foot on the other side, right? That hard-nosed determination that you needed to get through the Straits of Magellan on one side, your woman may not be able to manage all of that. And you have to adjust, say adjust.
Adjust.
Say adapt.
Adapt.
Change.
Change.
Yeah, I mean, this is, if you're not changing, you're stuck.
Yeah.
And so, in some ways, this is a piece for us. Is how do we manage our, morphing into our maturation process, where we're changing up enough and provide leadership enough in our relationship with our children. Church got quiet right there. Because we all know we have brought children into the world, but we were not there. This is what stopped Tony in his tracks. He's not by himself there. When he said it, it touched everybody in here, because we have messed around here, stuck on our own self, and brought children into the world trying to prove our masculinity, that we were able to do it, but then had no ability to actually parent the child. I don't hear you.
Yeah.
And then when that happens, we, especially with our young boys, but now our girls is starting to take the lead in some of everything. In the high schools, when they're having big time fights right now going on in high school, these are the girls. I don't want. I'm sorry. I don't want to go too fast. But what I want you to understand is that this whole leadership piece that we have kind of uh, arrived at by osmosis. We now see it though in more venues than just being released from prison. It's not. It's a big thing, but it's not the only thing. You see what I'm saying? So we look at around. Looked at one building right up here on Broadway. Not far from here. On the corner, right behind Turning Point, there's a big building right there on the corner. I thought it was vacant, but yesterday, the Pop House is across the street from it. Yesterday, I seen somebody going in, but I found out, it's a huge building. It will stand the second floor because we're gonna have to repurpose. I don't think that we can. I don't know if we can build from the ground up, but I don't want to steal that away. But we may have to repurpose the building and go that way. You get it? But I'm on this thing now. And so that building is a good price. I could buy that building right now. But I'm just making sure that we're all on the same page, right? And we keeping ourselves free. That's for us is Jermaine. Say Jermaine.
Jermaine.
Key. Say key.
Key.
The most important. Say the most important.
The most important.
You got to keep yourself free. And in these times that we are in, these are some troubling times politically and socially, in some ways. You know, don't get pulled off to the right or the left in that. Don't get lost in that. You have to stay focused on what's the main thing. Keeping the main thing the main thing. I'm going on too long. I'm saying too much. Give Tyler a big hand for coming on. Yeah, love you, man. And I'm so. And man, I know how hard you worked. This boy came home with his degree. He got his degree.
I ain't finished.
You ain't done? You got your associate's degree?
Yeah.
You got it, or you getting it?
No, I'm going to get the
Bachelor.
bachelor's.
Give him some. One more announcement, and then um, we can get in. We haven't started the group, by the way. That's just it's an introduction to the group. That's what we could be doing. But Oliver Cummings is a pop guy. Y'all know Oliver?
Yes.
I can't hear you. Not too many people know him. Oliver is a second degree man, 18 years in, 19 years in. Sharp brother, came home and fought for his parental rights, have a beautiful little daughter. We got involved in that fight for him, and he was successful in it. He's a great father now. He's very entrepreneurial. And so this Saturday, his apparel shop, and let me just read what it says. It's called Heavy Heads Footwear and Apparel. And then just take one and pass it. And take one and pass it back that way, and take one and pass it back this way, if you don't mind. And y'all see Anika Bowie right here?
Yeah.
Give that girl a big hand. See, now she just get a hand just because she showed up. You know what I mean? She done elevated. But what I want to say about Oliver is that we want to stop by. I told him that he wanted to have a special thing for Pop Guys to just come by and see what he's doing. So on this Saturday, say this Saturday.
This Saturday.
From 1 to 3, say 1 to 3.
1 to 3.
Yeah, he's going to be entertaining, he's going to be entertaining Pop Guys from 1 to 3 at the Heavy Heads Footwear and Apparel, 6282 Boone Avenue North. So it's not too far. And so if you get a minute between 1 and 3 on Saturday, come on over and let's support him and show him that we appreciate his courage and stepping out on faith and becoming a business owner. This Saturday between 1 and 3. Let's get a brother a hand. So then, somebody got some peanuts. Somebody want some? So let's, our Anika had just finished a really grueling race, beautiful race though for city council. She her vote total wasn't enough to win the seat, but the way she orchestrated her campaign along with others was still a big victory. And so and Pop Guys had something to do with that. So let's give Anika just a couple of minutes to say something about what she did.
Well, I appreciate it, Pops. I just want to say, first and foremost, thank you everyone who had played a substantial role in this campaign, whether it was, encouragement, a thank you, showing up, door knocking, in any way, shape, or form. Eliza wanted to be here today, but he has to leave early in the morning for this training conference, so he's home packing right now. So he also wanted to send his blessings. But it was phenomenal run in the sense that we actually made history and was able to do something that so many people have said that the status quo of winning a seat is not able to do. To where if you run, you have to be politically connected. And I ran off of not really having those connections, but the power of the community and the power of connections, and really showing and demonstrating the power of people, which got me 300 votes, less than 300 votes away from actually being appointed to that seat.
Right.
So and this was an incumbent. We were going up against an incumbent who was seen as politically untouchable. I had less than a tenth of the fundraising that he had acquired, and still came so close to beating him. So this, we have created a blueprint that is just record breaking. I have, had gotten the victory and the thanks and the recognition from many large political heads like Attorney General Keith Ellison, my own mayor, Mayor Carter, who people are, seen as very masters of politics, and them even calling and bowing their heads to like, wow, what you was able to do, with such little resource, but yet such substantial support means the world. And what I'm really excited about in 2020 and beyond, especially with organizational support, is like really showing that we torn down the curtains, of what it really takes to like go after what we say we really want to,
Right.
and really showing that the core value of like coming here, being filled up, being in community, having a support system and a base of always keeping your head in the game, and believing in yourself, believing in the victory. I From February all the way to now, I would say my confidence level has been through the roof.
Yes, that's good. Let's give her something right there. That's all right.
Confidence, and also still staying humble, still staying open to growth, and acknowledging that I still have a long ways to go. And it's a blessing to be at the age of 27 and still like rooted in the values of people who have came through the struggle, people who came from communities, have experienced all that we have experienced, yet being resilient, and being just like overcoming barriers in so many different ways, and having the heart to give, after. The blessing that I see that I want to give in 2020 is giving a blueprint, to anyone who is trying to navigate different worlds, whether it's politically, community-wise. How can we collaborate and build on top of that power? And how can we grow? And how can we support? I just want to say thank you, Pops.
Sure.
Because often, running this race, there's times where I felt like, why am I doing this? Am I making a fool of myself? Am I ready? Kind of like that story of just like walking, on the ocean, on the water, and just like having that faith and trying to be above. I definitely don't see this as a defeat based off the numbers. This was huge. We were able to, and this is groundbreaking too. We were able to expand the voting turnout over 20%.
Wow!
And like in a war that So there's so many victories. One of them, I brought my little brother Noah. He's out there.
Okay, Noah, come on in.
Noah. He's probably like, oh man, she got me. But for many who probably don't know, I'm the only girl. I'm the oldest.
Yeah, what's up? Here go Noah right here. What's up?
My youngest brother, he was out here door knocking, talking with people. We didn't know what we were doing, but we knew we had to connect with people. We had to talk with voters and get the consensus of the community. And he was right there with me. And I'm just so proud of just like, just instilling values in him and him being, just proactive of what he wants to do with his life.
Right.
And even my brothers, who were already on the right track, but now they have more motivation and inspiration to see that, there's so much that we can do, and there's so many avenues and so many ways we can change.
Wow. Well, let's give Noah a little hand. Noah, you got something you want to share? How old are you, brother?
20.
20. So you're a high school graduate, and right, and going on to.
I might go over to Itasca or Brainerd to play football.
We got that Noah, football Noah. Right. Well, we are encouraged by, your sister's courage and her leadership. And, we have to get behind that. And so just one day, some of the pop guys, as individuals, we went over. And not one day, but a lot of days. But the last day was the day, 2 days before the election. We went over and passed out tracts. I was working with Tierra and Kimbrough. And see, Kimbrough don't realize. So I used to deliver papers. This is not that long ago when we started the paper route thing. So I know how to throw the paper. Look, I throw the paper right up in front of your door, like, pow. And the paper makes a noise. So I know when I hit the doorstep because I'm waiting for the noise. And when I throw that paper, and it hit that noise, then I know I'm on to the next house. So I had little tracks, right? And look, so I'm up here, bam, I'm hitting them lumps, bam, I'm hitting them things so quick. And I look back, and Kimbrough was way back. Wait a minute. Then he went in his pocket, he got an inhaler. I said, I better slow down. I don't want to lose my brother. Give him a big hand because he didn't stop. Yeah, he didn't stop. Kimbrough didn't stop. Boy, he took some hits. He kept on hitting. He kept on fighting, boy. So, Kimbrough got 2 or 3 of them photos out there by himself. Give him another hand, boy. Noah, we're glad to have you over here. We support our young people, and we're grateful, that you come over and got a chance to meet us. We are the pop guys and ladies, and we've been at this for a long time. So through your sister for a while, or Eliza for a while, but then after a while, you might be able to make your way over here for yourself, because you can just feel by you standing here. There's an energy that's flowing through here, and bam, it's hitting you right even this second. You get what I mean? And there's energy. The walls in here conduct the kind of support and love that we have for one another, and the high expectations that we have to succeed.
Yes.
And so we want you to walk out of here knowing that there's a group of men who have high expectations of you just because you're you, right? And that, you set those expectations for yourself. Then get the business done. Bump the dumb stuff, right? Get it done. Give him a hand. So man, we still ain't started a group yet. Does anybody want to have a group tonight? Look, so on the group tip, what I like to do is the acts of faith. Somebody new. I'm gonna give this to Tyron because I want him to read Acts of Faith real loud. He got a pastor's voice anyway. So in your pastor's voice, I want you to read that for me real loud.
Lack of money is the root of all evil.
Say it real loud, son.
Revered height.
Say it again.
Lack of money is the root of all evil.
Lack of what?
Lack of money.
Yes, sir. Come on.
Each day around the country, thousands of people become ill from the stress of not having money. Once they become ill, they are subject to inadequate health care because they don't have money.
Mm-hmm.
Each day, hundreds of creative, talented people sit wasting away because they don't have money. Don't have money to do what? To think, to take care of themselves, to create. We are conditioned to believe that if we do have money, we have nothing. That is an evil thought. It's evil that robs us of our faith in ourselves and in the process of life. The darkness of it dims the light of human potential. We abandon our dreams, live below our own standards, and allow a variety of opportunities to slip right out of our hands because we think if we don't have money, we are worthless. If you believe that, if you think like that, you have been possessed by an evil spirit. You need faith.
Wow.
I'll say again, you need faith, love, and a passionate desire to exercise that beast, or exercise
Exercise that beast, yeah.
from your being. I am not lacking the things that really matter. Actually, faith.
Give him a hand. It said money is the root of all evil, but it's also the answer to a lot of our problems. Is that right or wrong? And so it's not that money is in and of itself is evil, but the love, say the love. The love of money.
Love of money.
Let me tell you what happens, and I'm gonna make this quick. While we loving on money, what we end up getting addicted to is the chase.
Yes.
And you don't never end up with the love, but you end up addicted to the
Chase.
and it's the chase that sends you to the penitentiary.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help somebody, right? It's the chase that will cause you to leave your family, leave our kids, because you're addicted to the
Chase.
Yeah. See, one thing I discovered about the money, you have to actually slow down and allow money to catch up to you. But the chase won't allow it. The chase won't allow it. And the trickeration is in the chase. Right? And this was what they meant when they said the dog who chases his tail will be busy. But he will not have the
Chase.
money because he's already in the chase. You get what I'm saying? Now watch this. I want to try to bridge this to something that I want us to talk about. Oh, okay. This is a tough subject I want to present to the group tonight, and it involves Isaac, but really it involves all of us. And it's a conversation that we need to have, but we want to have it in love. Is that all right? And so each one of us, we got our own little unique idiosyncrasies and dynamics. Isaac has his. His particular set of dynamics involve 2 or 3 or 50 different things. You know, he shot an officer years ago, 40 years ago. So just the taking of another life, just that by itself, that has its own set of consequences. If you didn't do a day for it in prison, you would still have to work through the consequences of your own behavior. Is that right or wrong?
Right.
And so in the context of that, for many of us and for him specifically, you know, because there's a racial dynamic, right? This us against them theology. It's unfortunate, really, you know, but it is what it is. And so there is this dynamic of revenge. I'm just telling you the truth. The former commissioner who initially allowed Isaac to come home, he wanted to parole him. I know he did. And I'm telling you what I know. And that commissioner, he stood up to the state legislature and told them on his first week on the job, he was getting ready to let some lifers go. Told them to their faces. And to me, for me, this is why y'all remember we gave him an award. And the award we gave him was what we call the Second Chance on Freedom Award. Why was it that? Because he paroled more lifers than any other commissioner in modern times. Ahead of him was a commissioner who actually was a good person, but who served a governor who had no thoughts about letting anybody go. Do y'all know what I'm talking about here?
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
Yeah.
No, that's Governor Puente, right? He let nobody go. Nobody left Moose Lake. Nobody was leaving DOC, Minnesota State Department of Corrections. Nobody was leaving. Nobody. When Roy came, he said emphatically he was going to do what the law said, which on paper said that, some people had earned their right to another chance, and he was going to follow that. And he did that too. But in Isaac's case, they had to do something different because the political pushback was so strong. Right? Ain't nobody saying it was right, and we ain't got no time to figure out if it was, how wrong it was. But it was what it was. And so he knew he wanted to let Isaac go under his commission. But they did it on a work release tip so that they could come under actual parole. So he remains, even to this second, on work release versus actual parole. And at the last hearing he just had, he was given some conditions to achieve parole. Just real briefly, can you say what the conditions are?
They gave me, the commissioner gave me 6 more months. He told me I need to save some more money.
Mm-hmm. Wait a minute, don't talk loud. This is important for the conversation. Do what now?
He told me he wanted me to save some more money.
Okay.
Then he told me that I wanted to stay out of trouble.
Well, we know that.
And he told me that he wanted me to get a secure job at a place to stay.
All right, that's 4 things right there. Let's just deal with that. Them 4 things. What was the thing number 1?
Save more money.
I can't hear you.
Save more money.
Let's just stop right there. That was what the reading was about. And if you look at the reading, where's it at? If you look at the reading, watch this. The important point in the reading in sentence 1 was it said each day, say each day, around the country, and the world, thousands of people become ill from stress. This is what this article is about. The article is about how can you get over being all stressed out. And it's suggesting here that because you love money or you chase it, but you don't have it, you're stressed out. And stress for us makes us desperate. And in desperation, we have often chose the wrong thing. I don't hear nobody in here. Don't be mad at me. I'm just trying to love you now. I'm sorry. So let's just say this, what Isaac had was some cards. So some of y'all know how to play some cards. And then you get your little hand, like this here. See, and then you gotta up here play that hand. Is that right or wrong? Mm-hmm. Now, what does Isaac need to do to win the hand?
Save more money.
Say it loud.
Save more money.
What's number 2?
Secure employment.
Secure employment.
Stay out of trouble.
Stay out of trouble. Find a house. Okay. This is his real hand that he must win to complete the last assignment. In the meantime, Isaac, is falling in love. Right? Is that right or wrong?
Right.
And see, so wait a minute. Wait a minute. So watch this. Now, see, if you're gonna fall in love, ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it, but you gotta know what you're doing here because love requires your full attention. Yeah. And not only love. Oh, listen to him. Wait a minute. Seal, is he telling the truth? She didn't say nothing. Why? Oh, watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch. Look right here. Now, if you're gonna get married, that's a whole nother hand. Okay, you hold this hand. You hold this. Sounds right. Now, while he got that hand, this right here is the real hand. Yeah. And this right here is an important hand, but it's a secondary hand. This is the primary hand. Yeah. Now watch this. Watch this very carefully. When you fall in love like that, you have to take begins with an R, risk. Say risk. Risk. Right. And the risk is that you are surrendering part of yourself to the other half. And that makes her an important player in the primary hand. I'll wait for all the amens to die down. So wait a minute. Now, Isaac got all of this politics, all of all that drama. Somehow, this is amazing to me. This is just me, and I'm wired different, and I'm wired different. I would just be playing this hand alone. I'm just saying, I probably would, visit. Say visit. Visit. I'm sure I would have did that. But I'm gonna tell you the truth. I would be playing this hand very, very close, Kimbro, because I understand where I came from, and I understand where I'm trying to go, Sheldon. Yeah. And so, wait a minute. Even though I may love you, I can't give you one of these. I just want y'all to think about what we're talking about now. And I'm utilizing Isaac in some way, but I'm talking about everybody. Yeah. See, the number one way for a pop guy to go back to jail or prison is a failed domestic relationship. Now, I'm not. This is not conjecture, or I'm not just making this stuff up. Right? This is reality. Say reality. Reality. So Isaac he been working and this and that. He made some decisions, and I'm gonna throw it right to you here in a minute. He wants to bring his wife to be from Portland. She from Portland. She's in a building. She lives in a building. She good. She good. She got a car. On a fixed income. For them to do this hand, she got to come all the way here because he can't leave. Right? And they got to find a place. Now it's hard for Isaac to find a place because of this hand. It's not impossible. Say it's not impossible. It's not impossible. Y'all know that because you have some parts of the hand, but he got a couple of cards you didn't even have. Watch this. So it's very difficult for him to find housing, right? Some people don't even want to, hire you, right? When they go back. Now he has been fortunate enough to find some good paying jobs. But Isaac has said, "Well, Pop, this is what I want to do. I'm gonna throw it to you now. What you want to do?"
I'm bringing my fiance here from Portland. I already done paid for the plane ticket. I done paid for all the stuff to get moved here, car here.
You all right?
I paid the deposit on the house that I'm gonna be staying in, and I'm paying for the first month. I got what I got going for me.
Wait. Now let's just be 100% clear now. Have you already paid everything you just said, or do you still owe some money on some parts of what you just said?
Over final payments on everything when it gets here.
So
I still have that money.
let me see the yellow stuff again. Yeah. Uh-huh. So go ahead. I'm sorry. I just want to be clear.
So uh, the fee for holding it, I paid all those, and I paid for it to get here. Now, when it does get here, is when I make my last payments. Everything.
So you already owe some money that you don't even have yet. Is that
No,
right
I
or
still
wrong?
have it.
Okay.
I still have it.
Okay.
I have everything.
Okay. Watch this. And when you get through paying all of this, how much you gonna have?
$2,000.
That's not what we just talked about the other day. But I'm
Because
gonna
I get paid tomorrow.
I'm gonna just lie. Oh, get that man some love. Watch this. Go back. Somebody read the first sentence.
Each day around the city.
How many days?
Each day around the country.
How many days? Each day. Okay, go.
Every day around the country.
Yeah.
Thousands of people become ill from the stress of not having money.
What? Stop. Every day. So see, the difference in that stress is that they don't necessarily have to play this hand. So, and I want to say this is as lovingly as I can. So, son, you it's not wrong for you to want to be in love, not wrong for you to want to have your fiance, not wrong for you to want to put y'all in the same location, but you might have put the cart before the horse here. Now you just have to hear this because you done already committed. So we still in it to win it, right? But let's review this hand. Now, we get this money. They're trying to get a place that ain't in there yet. You get it? So if anybody in here knows a place, just I want them to have a backdoor plan to this place that they're trying to get.
We got it.
Okay. And you know that for a fact. Come on. You gave them the money.
No, I gave them the money Saturday.
This is coming up Saturday.
Yeah.
All right. Give me a hand for that. So I just want y'all to see it. I'm not going to belabor this. You get what I'm saying now, right? And that was really the precursor to what I'm getting ready to say, right? Watch this. It's critical for that relationship to be successful.
Yes, it is.
I'm just going to wait for all the amens and that.
Amen.
So see what I'm saying now, under that old commissioner who was trying to have you back, this guy don't seem bad, but we still don't know him somehow. We're trying to figure him. Is that right or wrong?
That's right.
And I think he's a good brother, and he wants to be, but I'm not sure that he can manage in a year's time all the vicissitudes of the political dynamics that's behind him and this hand. I'm just waiting for you to think about what I'm saying here. So, in this, Isaac spent 38 years or so incarcerated. in that time, you have to make a decision of whether you want to live or die. Isaac decided he wanted to live. Once he decided that, and this is a whole big thing we could write a book about, just that part. But once he makes that decision, then you got to decide, how do I want to live? The how part is the part that put the demonstration in that allowed Roy to let him skate through, because you made some adjustments. I don't hear nobody. But when I first came to the penitentiary, everybody just called him Dog Bone.
Yeah.
I made it a point to never call him that. I called that boy Isaac Brown, and then he put some African names in the middle of it. I didn't call him because I'm just telling you, because if you're going to answer to that name, you ain't gonna never be able to get through this hand.
Yeah.
You got to set some of that stuff down.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't talking loud enough. Now look, so see, in a very short period of time, you have to make some mental and emotional adjustments to receive somebody else into your life, right? And them skills you had in prison that got you there, they're not gonna win this one. This is a whole nother pen. And this is the part, you can be mad at me, but if I don't tell you the truth, then I'm no earthly good. But this is the part where you are struggling now, and you're going to struggle again if you don't step off. Step off of that hand and allow the cards to play out on their own. Because see, you have to always be playing this hand. And I could tell that you could easily get juiced about losing a card over here and take your mind off of this hand over here. I could tell that. And I'm just saying to you right now, that's unacceptable. We got to help out here. And so I'm going to open it up now, because there's way more wisdom in this room than I have. But I just want to set the table for you so that we can talk with Isaac and you can hear us love you. And now we have to open up and love Miss Charlesetta, because now she's in it too. Somebody got good short feedback for Isaac. Wait, let me count them off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, go like in that order. 5 was Will. Go ahead.
But Rambo older than me a lot. But when I committed my crime, I was a freshman in college, and my sisters, who are sister, had football team of the sisters. I was in a relationship, and they told me that your card, the hands you got in your hands, as Pop says, that's the important hands. If you achieve your goals, and I was on a probation, which is like allowed me to stay in college and stay on campus and still play sports and still get my education I needed. But at the same time, I was in a relationship that I was going to be at my house at certain times, but when the girlfriends call, I gotta go. When they call my phone, there was no answers because I have to be at the house when they call to pick up the phone and answer those phone calls.
Right.
And I did slack a lot because I wasn't home.
Tell the truth.
And I missed those important hands I was supposed to be my left line to get me my 4-year degree.
Yes.
And all the work my dad told me to bring me in this country, I left it for away because I was focusing on that hand I think was important for me. Until I had to sit down, and my sisters literally told me that when time comes, if things goes wrong, the girl that you specifically have every investment in, and you spend another 3 more years, or if if they send you back to jail, or
Yeah,
I didn't
going
get the
back.
chance to go to prison, but if they send you back to jail, I lose my scholarships. I'm never going to see you again because I'm not going to be on campus anymore.
Right.
And I lost everything I worked a lot about. So
Let me stop you right there. Give him a hand right there. Give him a hand. Chili, that's good. And I like how you put that right there. And Tim, come on, we're gonna.
Okay. Well, you know, I've been married. I was married over 30-some years. But now, with all the garbage that's
Joe, you got to go with
associated
something?
with my name and with what I have to work through, I don't want to put another person through that. I want to get my stuff back together myself before I even, because I don't want them to be involved in all the dynamics and all the stuff that I have to deal with. I want them to have their own life. And so I'm waiting before I decide to get into any new relationship or even trying to get back to my old relationship. I want to take care of my garbage first. And I don't see any wisdom in going ahead and trying to get into a relationship. So that's where I'm at. Anyways.
Let me stop you right there. Give him a hand. Give him a hand. Give him a hand. That was great. Who was next? Come on.
You know I love you to death, man. I've been with you I've been in cell with you. You know that. So I used to sit there and talk to you every day about this stuff, man. Like you said, like Shane said, relationships are number one killers. They will kill us. I think that the deck that he showed you, the two hands that he showed you, there was cards missing out of both of those decks. That yellow deck, the mandates that the commissioner gave you, they seem like they were four little things. But it comes in those four things are a multitude of issues within those four things. They're looking at you. I've been telling you all the time since you hit your foot on this ground, you're up on extreme scrutiny. Like nobody before. I got a life sentence, but they wasn't watching me like they're watching you. You know, the things I did wasn't like your stuff. You got one chance, sir.
Right.
You blow that one chance, I don't know what's going to happen to you. And that's why Pop is talking to you. He is telling you right now, you have to be number one, important to yourself in order to help your fiance. She done said some things to you that you haven't regarded. She has told you to slow your roll. Wait a minute. If I love you today, I'm gonna love you down the road.
That's
tomorrow,
right. That's right.
next month, or whenever we get the chance to come together. Now she done told you this because you have told me that. And I hadn't thought about that. It's troubling. You have to slow down. You have to slow down. Put yourself first. Put her in consideration too. You know what I mean? It's kind of like having safe sex, man.
That's
Protecting
right.
each other.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
I don't
That's
want you to
right.
get nothing, and I'm not gonna catch
Right,
nothing,
right, right.
But she done said this to you. You can't have nothing if you're not on the street, Isaac Brown. There's no relationships. That penitentiary stuff is penitentiary stuff. This is a new time. This is a new day. You have to change. It may be hard, it may be uncomfortable for you, but you're gonna have to love on yourself like you have never loved yourself before. Because if you don't,
I'm gonna stop you right there. Give him some love right there. Tony and then Will.
Yeah, I always tend to see things a little differently. I'm married, but she lives in Wisconsin right now. I'm in no hurry, but I also know and hope that if you got somebody that really loves you, and kind of do this together. Now, if it's a wrong chick, then you're in trouble. But if it's like a really good, spiritual, loving woman, that might be what the doctor ordered. Secure housing was one of them cards. It sounds like you got that. It's hard to save money and secure housing, but I don't know what your income is. But I want you to be a woman. You know what I'm saying? Because that might be what's gonna slow him down and ground him. Because what else can? Right?
That's a good point. I'm gonna stop you right there. Give him some love. That's a good point.
So, first, brother, I love you, man. So, I agree with him, but now I don't know the fiance, I don't know her. But I do agree that if she's right, that could, and that if you can trust your life with her, then you two can double down. Uh, but that's not the case, or I don't know if it is or not. But what I do know is um, love delayed ain't love denied.
Yeah.
Taking time. You're rushing, and I understand why because you was gone so long.
Yeah.
And now it's a rush.
Mm.
But you might rush into the wrong thing if you rush too hard and don't think before you move.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Give her a hand right there. Somebody else.
Isaac, I thank for the time and what you did, your situation, You're a good man for wanting to bring this woman up, like they said. But sometimes you have to think about the cards that he dealt you. It could be a setup. And you don't know. I'm not saying that it is. I'm just giving it to you.
Possibly love is this.
Yes. I've been with a person 34 years. I know. I'm just saying. Don't rush. She told you to slow down. So you better listen to what she's telling you.
One more. Go ahead. Say your name, sister.
Tashira. So I came and spoke last time about my son's father who was murdered by the police and everything.
Right.
And today I brought Matilda. Her son was killed by St. Paul police. He was shot 52 times. But I think about I think about when Justin, if he would have went to jail that night instead of ending up dead. And sometimes I think that the sad part about it is sometimes I wish he would have ended up in jail because he would be out now with his family. And sometimes I think that even though it's such a hard thing to go to prison and everything like that, but sometimes it might even save your life. Sometimes it might be what saves your life. You get a chance to think, you get a chance to get your mind together. But and I also want to say to you, as a black woman, I love you as a black man, and keep praying and keep going, and keep talking to God because He's the one that brought you through what you went through, and forgive yourself. And just keep praying and keep going. Keep praying and keep going. That's what I want to say as a black woman to a black man.
Go ahead, sis.
So I actually know Isaac through my dad, and they grew up together. And not only advice or what I could add to it for my dad, who also experienced incarceration. I had a hyper observation to where points in his life where he found himself in prison are at risk of the law was when he had a strife with my mom. And I just think about, what Pop was saying about like really relationships are indicators of like our vulnerability of not playing our cards right. And I think this situation you're going into, which is a natural human situation, we all want love, we all like need a partner, in this life, and I do believe you deserve that. But also it puts a heightened focus on making that work, to where that is a factor that's going to be the foundation of just how you respond to it. And even as a black woman who has a dad who's been incarcerated, I'm dating someone who was formerly incarcerated for some time. I would even suggest to where you create a plan or a core of how you deal with your emotions, and how you deal with just conflict resolution, and that sometimes who you're with can bring out the ugly, and without love is also hate that we're dealing with. And I think that's another card that you have to focus on. And sometimes if you focus on the self-love, you're able to discover some of that and purge some of that pain, that trauma that you have to go through with life. Or if you have a partner, she's going to have to be so spiritually grounded and so forgiving and so understanding, which to make that work. Because as human beings and in relationships, we all have issues. But your situation, you probably don't need extra issues. But I'm not the one to judge on that, but it's just a hyper focus of how you handle those situations.
Let me stop you right there. That was great. She really, it's so amazing because she kind of touched on a couple of little pieces. Because those of us that know Isaac for any length of time,
he got a temper.
Yes, yes, we know. So we are in here, because then if he hit the DB switch, I'm just saying. Am I in the right room here? And so up here, this is why we're taking a minute here and Anika couldn't possibly have known all of this, yet she is up here picking out these little pieces.
Yeah.
And so now let's just play it out. This is a role play. Somebody say role play.
Role play.
Say it loud and role play.
Role play.
Okay, watch this. This is role play. I'm playing Isaac, right? And let's say Tony right here, you're playing Commissioner Snail. That's a rough. Can you handle it? And Bria right here is playing Charlesetta, right? That's Isaac's fiance. And then I got three more people who are playing the board. Donald and Tyron and Philip right here is playing. They're the board along with Tony. Tony got the final say. This role play. I'm Isaac. Now something. Now look, something done happened where now it's 6 months. 6 months have elapsed. We're going before the board, but Charlesetta and I, we are all messed up. She wants to take her marbles and go back to Portland because I don't listen. And I want to be a man. Say be a man.
Be a man.
Well, what do that mean? You know, I mean, because do that mean that you can't listen? Because you a man? This is role play. Say role play.
Role play.
Okay, so let's say he wants to be a man and all that kind of stuff. And then Charlesetta wants just to be loved. And she wants somebody to pay her some good attention. And then Isaac, one time, he hit the DB switch. That's me. I'm Isaac.
Okay.
So now, you done heard about this. We done had a issue, domestic issue. The police were called. Will is the police. Somebody say role play.
Role play.
Yeah. Well, so and in this particular board, the police is sitting in on the whatchamajig. So I'm call us to order, Tony, and then tell us what why we're here.
Lights, camera, action.
Role play. Role play.
On this meeting in order, we're here because Senator Isaac Brown messed up.
Yeah.
Didn't do what I specifically asked him to do.
Oh, wait, no. Well, hold it. Just a minute. I want to get my say in here. Wait a minute. I did exactly what you said.
Tell her what you gonna say.
You may have done.
Well, maybe call on her to see what she got to say. Charlesetta. She logged in. She's logged in on. Go ahead.
I left my life and came down here. All I wanted to do is be loved and have a husband.
Yeah.
But now it's out of control.
What you talking about? What you talking about?
I don't know what to do with myself, and I don't know what to do with others.
Oh my God! Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Well, don't I love you?
Yes, Isaac, but you're always got to be right.
Somebody say role play.
Role play.
And then I sent for you. I spent up all my money. Sent for you to come down here from Portland, Oregon, and leave your home and all of this and that. And haven't I been good to you?
Yeah, you've been good to me, but we had a better relationship when I was in Portland.
Call on the police.
Officer here.
Officer Lloyd.
Officer Lloyd. What can you tell us about your interaction with Senator Isaac?
Well, I'm just a little bit concerned for his wife. I think Isaac still demonstrate violent tendencies. And you know, he's already shown the propensity to enact violence. And I think that if we allow him the opportunity to do it again this time, he might just get it right and hurt his wife.
Wow. Yeah. And so, you know, y'all can say what you want to say, and you know this and that, but I that was 40 years ago, and it's not today. I'm working. I'm working hard. I'm doing the best I can. You don't understand me, you know, and you're being all unfair. This is unfair. Every time I look around, you got a special rule for me. You got a special rule for me, but you let everybody. What about the other guy that shot the police? You didn't say nothing. Let's go. So, call on the board members.
They would take them away.
Board members, that we are seeing some of this aggression. I want to call on other members of the board.
Right.
And, what do you think?
Well, Mr. Brown, I hate to tell you this, but the Federal Police Federation has been blowing my phone off the hook. They've been asking where you're at and how you're doing.
Right.
Now, from what your fiance said, it don't sound too good.
Right.
Officer Lloyd is scared because you might be a public risk. So now you might be doing the best you think you're doing, but we need to see more out of you before we give you that parole.
Oh, boy. Who's the other board member? Phil. No, you. No, go ahead. Tyler.
I would just like to ask you, Mr. Brown,
Look right at him.
what were the
that's me.
conditions? What were the conditions of your work release?
Right.
Were you supposed to remain law abiding?
Absolutely.
Were you supposed to save money?
Yes.
Get your housing together?
Yeah.
You may have done some
No, I'm
extraordinary
broke.
things.
I'm broke. I done
Yeah,
spent up all my
all it takes is one bad thing in order for you to go back. Do you understand the gravity of the chance that you have been given?
Yes, and I just want you to understand that I was going for a long time, and I believe I deserve a chance just like everybody else. Why are the rules different from me?
Well, I don't believe the rules are different for you, sir. I believe that you have been given a chance, and given the gravity of your offense, you see, I don't think I'm going to be able to allow you to go back.
That's what I'm talking about. Y'all got all these double standards for me, and you let somebody else do this and that and that and this. Commissioner, what you say? Yeah. See there?
Settle you down a little bit.
Role play. Somebody role play. Role play. And give everybody here a hand. Now, if you wasn't in the role play, listen, you wasn't in the role play, but you might have some thoughts. You got to go? No. Okay. So watch this. Oh, but first, let's let Isaac just up here unpack what he heard and see if that is at all enlightening or helpful. So go ahead, son.
I am taking a chance. And I hear what everybody is saying. And out of love, I feel everybody's concern. But y'all that really know me know I love a challenge. I love to prove people wrong. And I've been doing that since I've been out. And after y'all get done, there's a lot of circumstances and a lot of information that you don't know. So,
like what?
Like, I'm making $2,000 a week.
Okay. For how long though?
For 2 months.
Well,
and that replaces all the money that I spent, and I can. So
but that job could be taken. It could be
but
disappeared.
It's not because. But it's not because the people. Well, I got 2 jobs really. The job that I'm working is a construction job on the place where I'm going to be working when it's finished. The guys that are doing the construction job want to keep me on the construction job, making the same money for however long I want to work there. But my boss, I owe him loyalty to him because he's the one that got me the job in the first place. So I'm going to stay with him and take the lesser money. which would be $16.50 an hour, and that's a far cry from 400 a day. You know what I'm saying? Now, my agent, he's happy for me. The commissioner is like, how the hell we get that job? You know what I'm saying? So I told him straight up, I'm marrying my wife. I'm bringing my wife to Minnesota, and it's going to work out. So that's what's in my heart. That's what's in my mind. That's what I'm going to do.
That's good. That's good. And you got to have that kind of commitment in order for it to work. Otherwise, it's done before it starts. Now, watch this though. But here's the thing. Now, see, but that doesn't change the hand. You still have to win this hand. And now, winning this hand has everything to do with how well you play this one. So I just want to talk 2 minutes about these interpersonal relationships. How you talk to your woman. Can you listen? Do you think that these are some concepts I'm throwing them out arbitrarily. Is being a man always talking and never listening?
No.
Just think about it. You don't have to answer. What about is being a man always being right?
Okay.
You get it? Is that what being a man is? Or is that what being a fool is? Because, nobody is always right. Um, and so I struggle with equating, your manhood with, your ability to be in relationship. The word relationship is actually a verb form of the word relate. And so to relate to someone, you actually have to hear things or see things from their point of view. I'm gonna give you an example. I told this to Isaac, and this is the second time I've ever shared this. But with my wife, she's a smart woman. She didn't need me to be smart. She's smart. You know what I mean? I'm a fairly intelligent man. I didn't need her to. So I know my wife is smart, and so I'm smart enough to listen to a smart person trying to tell me something. Now I wasn't always that way, right? Because that street stuff will make you. I don't hear nobody in here. But now I had to get over myself. So that was, down the line. I had to get over myself and realize in order for me to be in a relationship, I actually have to relate to the person who I say I'm in relationship with.
Yeah.
If I can't see it through her eyes, so just I'm gonna tell you, I almost shouldn't tell you this, but I just wanted to show how honest I want us to be in here. Ever since I was a kid, I always wanted me a Rolls Royce. Since I was a kid, and where it came from was a TV show when I was little, and it was a guy. His name was Stony Burke. He was a detective. And Stony Burke would solve crimes from the back seat of the Rolls Royce. And when Stony Burke would come, just like, oh man, it would just be like, dang. And what I really liked about him was the car. I loved it. Men are attracted to what they see.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, I didn't know what a Rolls Royce was till I seen one on television, and I said, you know what? I want that. So some years back, about 7 years ago, so I always look around for them. Because I'm older now. I want to have a few things that I want. You mad about it?
Nope.
Okay, watch it.
I'm happy for you.
Thanks, sir. So I found I was in Arizona. I found one that I liked was black, white interior with that old school look. It was beautiful. I said, ooh, I want that. Right? I got my own money. I got my own. I always had my own job. I got my own stuff. I don't need nothing from nobody. And I done bought a whole bunch of cars. I didn't ever ask nobody for permission. It never dawned on me. This is earlier in my marriage. It never dawned on me to talk it over with my wife. It didn't dawn on me. I'm thinking, she just, oh God. Oh man. Yeah. Oh man, Tony.
At least want to check in because we'll be back at quarter after.
Yeah. Okay. Some of hurry up with the story. So anyway, I sent the people the money. I paid cash for this car. I sent the people overnight delivery, paid cash. We had a cashier's check, paid for the car, and I started looking for a plane ticket. I'm going to get the car. And I was having lunch with a city council member, female, and I mentioned it to her. I said, "Yeah, I found it, And she said, "Oh, did you talk to your wife about it?" I feel it just seemed like something hit me like a ton of bricks. Like my first mind said, "Oh, why should I have done that?" And my other mind, because that's when I was a single. So single mind, say single mind. Say independent mind.
Independent mind.
Say management.
Management.
Yeah. Look. And then my other mind said, "Brother, you done missed a big step here, because anything I do is reflective on my wife, or vice versa." Do you know, man? I realized, man, how wrong I was. I mean, I was wrong, and I told my wife, um, I said, "Sweetie, I always, I never told you this, but I always wanted this, and I messed around here. I purchased the car without talking to you about it, and you should have seen the look on her face, because my wife is always happy. I love that about her." And I told her this, and boy, she was. I was like, "Oh no." So I said, "You know what? I'm sorry. I'm really sorry that I didn't talk with you about it." So I foregone that car. I had the people send me my money back, and they was calling me like, "Miss Price, when you coming? We were waiting for you." And so I had to cancel that deal, because my wife and how she feels about herself on a day in day out basis is more important to me than getting my little dream car from from the TV game, right? I did sit down after that and talk about, hey, I really, she knows I'm a car person, I got, what you do, but then I just sat down and told her about it, this and that, you know. So just kind of bring her on board, so to speak. But I swear, man, I had to change that thing up, man. I'm only giving this as an example to say that um, I changed in my heart, and I can't be doing nothing that's going to have a negative impact on, my wife, my home, or my family. And I didn't have these considerations. Um, Man, I hate that Tony got to leave. Give him some love. Commissioner, you all right? All right. Yeah. Give the commissioner a better hand than that. We're here every Tuesday, Tony.
Yeah, so I gotta work something out because every other Tuesday I got to see my Congress group, another group.
Sure. Well, that was good. So anyway, my point though is with all of them, we're not just talking about Isaac. You and your relationship, and you know how this is, and Timothy, your feedback was very critical. All right, love you, Paul. Congratulations. Give him a hand. we got to be very careful and be mindful. Say mindful.
Mindful.
Of what our action or behavior, what that does, what kind of impact that has on our other half, right? And so, to Isaac's point, we'll wrap this up, and then we haven't heard from Yolanda. We won't let her close us out. We're glad you're here. We miss you, and then we have some new sisters.
My wife has some cake and ice cream she wants.
Got it. So we got. Is it close by?
Lola talked to you that tomorrow's his birthday.
Yeah.
Cake and ice cream.
Come on. Well, where's it at? Let's get it right now. No, let them get it for you, Donald. Do you know how to do it?
I know I can do something.
Donald's independent.
So wait a minute. So Isaac, now that you've done, you made some moves, right? I think you think what you said about a challenge was on point, but it actually demonstrated just a tad bit of selfishness, because the challenge isn't just about you now. And as you've gone into this thing, you got another life involved, and that life has got everything to do now with how well you play this hand. Will and Tony made some good points that it can be for the best. And now that you've come this far with it, we can't go back now. You got to win it.
Right. Yeah.
You got to say, be in it,
To
win it. Say it again, win it, in it, to win it. And so give him a big hand right here. I don't know, man. This is a beautiful. I was just talking about a car, and she brought in a Cadillac cake.
Oh, how nice.
Sil, you want to say something about this?
Oh, well, I mean, those of you know Donald. He's about a Cadillac.
Right.
That's the most important thing to him.
Wow.
At least you know.
Yeah.
I know it's important. So I had somebody that had it special made.
Look.
It just says how special he is to me.
Amen. Do y'all see it? Do y'all see it?
He's got ice cream. Take it out the box and we can cut it.
That's.
But Sylvia, you're his Cadillac.
Whoa. Somebody needs somebody else to do all that cutting up and stuff. I'm not the one. Still, why don't you do it?
That's neat.
So we got some cups and cakes, some bowls, everything. Wait, somebody else can get them. Somebody else can get them. You got bowls or plates or spoons and everything.
Thank you.
They're in the back.
Somebody else can get them.
I had this lady that I know special making. I had something else in mind, but then
so this is what we're gonna do.
Wedding cake, so I gotta bring it down a little bit.
This is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Excuse me. This is what we're gonna do. Because this is getting late and we can continue to have ice cream and cake. We're gonna pledge out, and then those that gotta move around. But if you can't, stay around, and so we can have this ice cream and cake. But we'll pledge out real fast. So put that phone away. All right, here we go. Come on, get in. Come on. Come on, get in. And so our sisters here, they had some stuff, but I actually didn't know they was coming tonight, but I'm glad that they showed up. Sis,
Miss Matilda.
Miss Matilda, I'm sorry, I didn't know you was coming, this and that.
I know, I understand.
But I'm glad to have you.
I enjoyed it.
Oh, amen. So I'm glad to have it. Put your arm around them. You just gotta wrap it up here. Yeah. I will. Balance my family values. With my goals. I will. Exercise wisdom. What I choose to eat. Read. Do. Or marry. Let you think about it. Come on, jump in, Don. Jump in. Let them jump in. I will strive to make all my relationships win-win, no deal. I will under every circumstance maintain a positive attitude because I'm Isaac Brown. I am somebody. I will enjoy my life with a sense of humor by taking advantage of opportunities and playing my cards correctly. I will act upon circumstances rather than have them act upon me. I will on a daily basis be proactive with my goals. I will save my money. I will get me a good job. I'm going to keep a roof over my head. Because I want to be fully paroled. I will always protect my wisdom, my health, and my happiness. That means is you have to deal with situations at home correctly so that those situations don't deal with you. I will stay principle centered, and maintain a positive circle of influence. I will daily learn, commit, and do. I will act according to the POP Leadership Institute. Be productive in my community. And my private life. Now I'm gonna have some of that Cadillac cake.